So welcome back to the video. Now today I'm in the field again, as I always am when I'm testing the DJI Neo. Now this one, I just wanted to show you how it's possible to change the home point. Now the home point is down here if you just angle down. It's on this very expensive launch pad that I got from a sweets container at Christmas. So I'm going to be launching it from there. So initially it's going to log that as the launch point or the home point. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it all the way to the end of this field, which is just over there, around this corner. You'll have seen it in previous videos. I'm going to take it there. I'll change the home point. You'll see all that on the actual screen. And then I'll explain a bit more as we're en route. So let's get it up in the air, get going, and I'll explain more in a moment. Right, okay, so I'm going to get onto the app now and I'm going to get it into the sky. So I'm going to take off, as you can see on the screen now. The home point has been updated. So this is where it's going to end up landing if I don't change the home point. I'll just move it out of the way just so you can hear what I'm saying. And I'll move it up so it's out of the way of the trees. And over a little bit. Right, so there it is. If you want to focus on that while I get my gear sorted, and then we can head down that area and I'll let you know a bit more as we walk. So at the moment it's only like 3 meters off the ground, but I'm going to take it a lot higher because obviously there's dog walkers and people, and I want to make sure it sort of is nowhere near any of those. So I'll get it up in the air and let's go. Let's walk down the end now. So as you can see on the screen now, it's around about 15 meters in the sky and climbing. I just want to get it over those trees. So judging by the trees that are near us, it's well over those. The last thing I need is to get it stuck on one of those massive trees. It hasn't said anything about a strong wind warning, so I think it's about 3 or 4 mile an hour winds today. There doesn't really seem that much of a gust, but obviously you don't really feel much when it comes to down here. It's when you get 10, 20 meters plus in the air, that's where the gust is, and that's when you start getting the warnings. Now obviously this is just an example of changing the actual home point. We've just started from there and we're only going about 400, 500 meters maximum, and obviously the Neo does go a lot further than that. So this is just an example. If you're going for a walk and you start off at one point and you're just going in a straight line, you're not heading back there, then obviously the home point needs to change. Otherwise you're going to have to walk all the way back to go and get it. So there it is up in the sky. You probably won't be able to see it on the GoPro. It'll be like a little dot. Right, we'll head on a bit further. So as you can see on the screen at the moment, I'm only 27 meters in the air, but I want to keep an eye on it just to make sure it's going in the right direction. But as you see on the screen at the moment, this is the footage from the actual drone itself. This is heading towards the end of the area where I tested it the previous couple of times. The last time when I did the distance and the signal one, which was on last week's, is actually was recorded in a field right over there, which is about 200, maybe 250 meters from this point, maybe a bit more. But yeah, the first two videos I ever did were from this field, and that's where we're heading now, just to sort of test the 2 points. So we'll walk around here now. So I can keep an eye on this drone, so I know what it is. I can see it's in the air over there, so we're all good. When you are flying your drone, obviously you need to make sure you can see it at all times. Obviously when it's 120 meters in the air, it's a bit difficult, especially if there's loads of clouds. You can still hear it, but you need to make sure that you can fly it safely and you know exactly where it is at all times. So as I can see it right there, you won't be able to see it on the GoPro. It'll be like a little dot on the GoPro, but you can see it on here that it's not that far away. As you can see on the screen now, it's 26 meters in the air, and it's only 184 meters away from the home point, not from here, from the actual home point itself. It always measures it from where it took off. But another thing, when you're flying your drone, you do need to be registered with the civil, I think it's a aviation authority. So you need to make sure you get an operator's ID, which is about £11, £12 a year. But you also can get a flying ID. You don't need it if you've got something that's 250 grams or less with a camera, or if it's a toy drone, you don't need that. But it's free of charge, so it doesn't hurt to get it. And that just shows you know exactly what you're doing when you've got a drone. You know exactly how high you can fly it, where you can fly it, where you can't fly it. Obviously you need to be aware of people, of crowds, of certain places like ruins or churches or anything like that. You can't really do it around there. You can do it on the outskirts, but not over the actual building itself. And obviously crowds of people, you can't really do it over there either. Right, so I'm going to fly that over because it's just been stood over our heads for the last couple of minutes. So as you can see on the screen there, it is heading towards that area that I was in the last couple of videos. But as I say, for the little bit of kit that it is, 135 grams, and for the starter pack it's about 150 odd quid to buy. It's great if you just want to go for walks and you just want to capture just a little bit different footage from a GoPro. But personally, when it comes to like the actual driving of the or flying of the drone, I do think it's better to have the actual controller, whichever one you want to go with. This one's okay, it's perfectly fine for what you've got. Obviously you've got to click your mobile phone into it and record via that. But there is the other version of this, which has got an inbuilt screen on it, which would be ideal. It just means that your mobile is free to obviously make calls in rather than have to strap it in here. Right, so I'm just going to leave it hovering in midair there while we just get round this little side, because the ground is a bit uneven, so we need to make sure that it's we're not tripping over and it's safe. But as I say, when it comes to drones, obviously I'm not a massive expert on them. I've just looked online at them, and there are a lot out there, the 4K drones, and for the price of the Neo, I think it's an excellent value. It does great things. It goes decent distances, decent heights. The quality of the actual footage is decent as well, as you can see on the camera now. It's I think for a beginner's drone and for just going around and walking and stuff, it's just perfect. It's small enough to fit in a bag or a pocket if you've got pockets big enough. And the battery life is decent, I reckon, for what you want to do, depending on the weather, that is. If it's really windy, then it uses a lot of the battery power, as probably can be seen in the previous video. But today, I think it's about 3 to 4 miles an hour, which is nothing really. And down here, there is a little bit of a breeze, but it's very, very slight. So I don't think it's going to be using a lot amount of power. As you can see on the screen now, it's 47% battery. And if I click the battery icon here, you'll be able to see there, I've got like less than 3 minutes before it's going to return to home, which, as you know, is right over there. So I need to change it with the next 3 minutes. But it also gives you 4 minutes until it's going to have a forced landing, and it actually tells you how much battery power you've got left in minutes. So you can judge exactly how long you've got to film. So if you're wanting to film over here a lot, go up around these trees. If you change your home point, it should, in theory, give you just a little bit more time to film, because it doesn't have to use battery power to fly all the way back over there. It only needs to fly back here. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to get out my expensive Celebrations. I'm not advertising that, by the way. And I'm going to stick that there. It probably won't land there, but I'm going to try and land it on there. So what I'm going to do here is, now if you look at the screen, I'm going to go into the menu, and as you can see there, update home point, and then it shows exactly where we are. Let me just double check that. So I'm trying to control, is that? This is the first time I've done this. So that's where we are now. So what I need to do is I need to create that as a home point. Okay, that. Home point has been updated, as you can see on the screen now. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the, I'll have to show you that on the camera. So there is the return to home button on there. Hit that, and now you'll watch it in a minute. Slowly disappear off into the distance. So obviously that hasn't worked unless it's going down to a certain height. So there you go, actually, yeah. So it's gone off in the distance, and now it's come to find us now. So it's actually flown and landed over there. So obviously that was on the map. So it's landed on the ground there. So it hasn't actually landed anywhere near us. So I'll take it up again. On the map, you've got to kind of pinch it down so you can see exactly where you are. So I wanted it to be over in this direction, but it ended up flying over, back over here, but landing over there. And I didn't really want it over there, I wanted it over here. So it's not an easy thing. Obviously, I'm a beginner, so don't be putting things in the comments like, oh, you should have done this, because I'm just learning as I'm going. But I was hoping that it would be more over this area. So I'm going to try again, and hopefully, it's a low battery, so I'm going to change batteries, but we'll get it back up again, and I'll take it over there, and I'll try and get it to change its home point. So we'll be back in just a minute. Right, so this is the second attempt to try and get this done. As I say, I'm a beginner, so I'm learning as I'm going. I'll just put it over there, so the home point will be over there rather than here. And right, I'm going to go switch to the mobile screen now. So you'll see I'm about to take off, and you'll see it over there. There it goes, and you can see us. And it's updated its home point. So I want to try and bring it over here and change the home point to here. So I'll bring it over, and I'll take it over a little bit further. So as you can see it going by on the GoPro, I don't know how clear it is. But I'll take it over there, and then again I'm going to update the home point. And you can see on the screen now. So I'll update that point to around there on the screen. I'll OK that. Then hopefully,
home point updated.
Hopefully, obviously you'll be able to see this on the screen as well, but I'm just going to push this button here and then return to home, and hopefully now you can see it turning around on the screen there.
To home.
And you can see it heading towards, and it should land over in this area. Near enough, I guess.
Landing.
Ideally, I wanted it to land here or around this sort of area, but as you can see on the actual screen itself, it's not the easiest. As I put that up, you can see the flight path on there, but the home point was there. So it's accurate to where I've pointed, but obviously it's quite difficult to, because you can't really see yourself on this little screen here, you don't exactly know where you are. But when it comes to actually testing this, obviously that's what, 400 meters, 350, 400 meters away maybe, where we started. And just to get it in this sort of area is ideal. And then obviously you can have a home point here, and then you can take it wherever else and sort of do a bit more footage, because then it's not trying to figure out how much battery power is needed to take it from where it is back to the home point. It knows for a fact that the home point's a lot nearer. So instead of having to take, what, 28% battery to get all the way over back there maybe, it's only going to need about 10% or something like that. So you've got that extra little percentage to be able to do a little bit of flying around here, maybe even sort of fly it around into the woodland area if you wanted to, or above the woods, and just get that extra, few minutes of footage. But I'm going to keep trying this. It's obviously, this is just a work in progress. As I say, I'm a beginner. So everything that I'm doing on this is at beginner level, just to kind of show people that are starting out that things aren't as easy as the professionals show you. Obviously, they've been doing it for years, so they can fly, they can do all these different flips, and they know all the ins and outs and the settings and how everything needs to be. So I just wanted to kind of show a beginner how a beginner starts. So it has landed in an area that we can get to it, which is right there, and it's not too far from where we are. So we can update it and we can continue on with our filming if we wanted to. But that's just to show you how to change the home point from one place to another. So I hope you've learned something from that. I have. So let us know in the comments any tips, tricks, or any advice that you can give me in regards to either the actual operations of the Neo or anything to do with the Neo itself. I have had quite a lot of comments from you telling me certain things about it, which I greatly received. Someone on there, I forget your name, but I'll put it down in the bottom, has told me about filters. So we'll do a filter video next. So it'll be next week, you'll see a filter video, and I'll show the comparison between normal flight as well as the different sort of filters you can add to it. So thanks for watching. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. So don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till the day I die.